What if creativity was a conversation, not just with yourself, but with others? Have you ever read a book so beautiful it made you want to draw it or write something of your own? This is for the dreamers, the quiet creators, the ones who feel too much and create anyway. Hello everyone, I'm Natalia, and I'm an artist, writer, storyteller, podcaster, content creator, Imagineer, reader, all of that and so much more. And overall, I'm just a creator of chaos, of wonderfulness, anything you want to call it. So, creativity matters so much to me, which is why I started this podcast. But emotionally, and mentally, it has always been such a thing for me. It basically helps me to calm down, to do what I feel in the moment. So I've been creating ever since I was young. But after some personal issues happened, I started to fall out of love with art. Recently I discovered my love of art again, and I've done stuff like this, and which is one of my favorite pieces actually, and other different kinds of art I've also done, and it's amazing to see what I can do. And then, yeah, so creating, I've always been creating in one way or another. And then reading and stories, that is such a story for me because it's a story in itself, because my parents, they read to me ever since I was little. Ever since I was newborn, I was always read to. I fell in love with stories through that. I was reading by the age of probably 3. I was reading early chapter books in kindergarten, which is crazy to think about. But I was reading books like Mysterious Panic Society, and then I started creating stories of my own. Basically, creating just helps me make like sense of the world, and I wanted to build a space where others could do the same. So, what exactly is Brushstrokes and Bookmarks? Well, it's obviously a podcast, but what type of podcast is it? Well, there's going to be weekly episodes. It just depends on the week what episode is going to be, obviously. There are going to be different episodes about, I think, I haven't figured out the full schedule yet, but it'll be at least once a week, obviously. And it can be anywhere from art, writing, books, creative wellness, possibly even some behind the scenes sometimes. I don't know about that yet. I have yet to think about that. But yeah. No, each week it's gonna come out with a different episode, whether, like I said, be art, books, or stories. Some that I'm actually considering right now. I have my like thing up here. Which are some of my things? Like some of the stories I first ever wrote, or like books that I like love and help me like find joy and stuff like that. Stuff like that will be stuff we'll see all the time. And okay, the other thing that we'll be doing with Brushstrokes and Bookmarks is a monthly book club. So there will be 2 episodes posted every week. One will be those artsy writing books, but all those different kinds of things. That'll be one day, and then the other second day that I post will be a monthly book club. So I'll possibly read stuff, talk about stuff, but I won't be reading a chapter out loud. This is actually one of the books that's going up for consideration right now. Obviously, it's a long book. I'm not going to be sitting here and reading this every single week. I've read this book. I will read this again to be with you guys. But I will read this ourselves. Those of you who want to follow along, you can also read it. And then each week we'll discuss a certain part of the book. That's what we'll do. And, all this kinds of stuff, and like art, writing, all this community discussion, all of that will also be included in these book clubs. And each month there will be a different book, so it'll take, so say this book gets picked for this month, or I have another book here, this one's not up for consideration since it's a part of a series which is later. But, I just thought of one for thing. Okay, never mind, sorry. But say one of, like, this book gets picked up, or this one, we're gonna, I just forgot what I was gonna say. We're just gonna, like, oh yeah, about 4 weeks, okay. This is kind of chaotic already. Anyways, but, we're gonna spend 4 weeks on this. Why is this bent? We're gonna spend 4 weeks on this book and then transition to, say, this book next, okay? That's what it's gonna be. And overall, this is just an emotional, honesty, and safe creative space. Like, because a podcast isn't just a podcast. There's always something behind a podcast, and this podcast is all about creativity. But not only is it about creativity, it's about being human, because all of us have emotions. All of us create for different reasons. And a human is messy, joyful, uncertain. You have all these different emotions with you. So this is why I wanted to create this, like, safe space for everyone. So, and obviously, different episodes, you're going to find the highs and lows to stuff. Or we could go into a book that's a complete different world of stuff, It's all stuff like that. So, I keep mentioning community. Well, I love my YouTube family. They're amazing in every way. But, well, that's beside the point. But, we can't just be on YouTube. As much as I love this, we can't just be on YouTube. We have to be somewhere bigger. Well, that somewhere bigger is Discord. Discord allows me to be able to fully just go crazy with this and turn this into something so much bigger. There's different channels for art, writing, book club, just even mental health channels, so you guys can have fun, give feedback to me as the host of this podcast, or give feedback to your peers when they share their art and writing. Like, it's a community. I want to build a community where creativity meets connection. It's not just about sharing, honestly. It's about being seen, having people there for you. And this is just everything I want this to be. It's a safe, gentle, welcoming space to everyone of all race, gender, nationality, ethnicity, sexuality, anything you can think of. We're welcoming you to come. So, because in times of hardship, you need your community there. Your community is going to be your biggest support, and that's what I want this to be. So, on Discord, the server is called Brushstrokes and Bookmarks. I'm going to show you a little bit what it is. It's a little different from me since I have, but you're going to start here. There's a little channel called Start Here. This is what it's going to tell you to do. Once you get into join the server, go here. It's going to tell you what your next steps are. After that, go to introductions and introduce yourself. I already have mine up here, so don't be afraid. You're also going to have announcements to announce you can barely see the pictures, so high. But you're gonna see the pictures, you're gonna see announcements on here of the podcast episodes and all that. You're gonna have a podcast and community channel page, which is basically talking about this podcast. You're gonna have a book club channel page, or channel. or chapter, whatever it's called. And that's where you're gonna be able to talk about the book we're reading this month. So it has current read, chapter check-ins, book inspired art, and book recommendations. So current read right now, you guys, go over to there. We have the poll going up for this month's book, or May's book. So yeah. And then we also have an art corner, so you can share your art, so I can show my art, so we can give each other feedback, inspire each other. You're also gonna have a writing lounge to share your writing, my writing, give each other feedback, prompts, have little challenges and have fun. And then you're gonna have the cozy corner. That's where you can truly let go, be yourself, have fun with friends. You're gonna have off-topic chat, self-care nook, and creative wins. And those creative wins is honestly gonna be my favorite because you get to celebrate everyone's wins and see everyone their beautiful things that they make and help them celebrate. So if you ever want to be part of a creative group that doesn't pressure or judge you, just supports you, you'll fit right in. Like I said, this podcast is so personal to me. Because I love creating from the heart. That's where all of this and this whole book here comes from. It comes from my heart, and art and writing have always been a emotional outlet for me, and I understand people go through vulnerable stuff. I've gone through so much stuff, and yet we grow out of this stuff, but I wanted to make that space for people to, be able to have that vulnerability and growth all in one space. And I struggle a lot with perfectionism. I am very hard on myself, especially in like cooking or art. If something doesn't go the right way, I have meltdowns. And I know it's not good for my health or anything, but I'm slowly learning that it's not just about perfection. It's about celebrating your progress and the way you have to go, and it's not always perfect. So and I'm sure other people struggle with that as well, and so I wanted to be able to create a space so we could celebrate the progress even if it's not perfection. My biggest mission is to help people feel safe expressing themselves and maybe fall back in love with their own voice, because I certainly did. That was my humanities teacher for me, and she helped me fall back in love with my voice. So what's coming up, like I said, we're gonna be doing some stuff, a lot about books, probably some art. I'm not exactly sure yet, but probably I'm thinking like burnout, because I experienced that a lot, or like some processes of my painting or like writing and stuff like that. And then, like I said, book club, go check out the Discord server, and also on my YouTube, it's on my post. There's a shorter version of the poll on there. There's only 4 on there. On the Discord, there's probably 12 options you can choose from. It ends in 2 days, so we can get to reading. But so definitely go check that out. Vote on the book we have for this week or this month. And then we're obviously going to be hosting I'm going to be hosting community events. Prompts, like I said, there's tons of prompts, whether art or writing, all that's there. Live chats, chat with your friends, chat with me. I'll always be there. And then Q&As, we'll see about. And then, so yeah. So, I thank you all for watching the video. This was kind of chaotic. I know I was talking really rushed. I'm very passionate about this. I can't wait to see where this goes. So if you want to follow along on this journey, please subscribe to this podcast and join the Discord server at Brushstrokes and Bookmarks. And then, yeah, that's about it. if you got to this point in the video, either come say hi in the Discord server or comment below like your favorite book or like favorite art medium. My favorite book, I can't even say. My favorite art medium though is probably watercolors. This is watercolors. It is hand painted. I'll go into the process of this sometime later. But yeah, watercolors is probably my favorite art medium. So grab your sketchbook, your journal, or your favorite book, and let's create something beautiful together. I love you all, and I hope to see all my wonderful creators, writers, readers, everything, and anything in between. I hope to see you all back next week, or well, whenever I post videos again, and I hope to see you in the Discord server. Bye, you guys.